welcome to this episode of Caked. My name is Asma and today I'm going to be showing you a little bit of a different tutorial, and I'm going to be showing you how to go from a simple cake to a beautiful buttercream rosette cake. Before we actually put rosettes onto the cake, I'm going to show you how to make the rosettes onto parchment paper first. You can make this cake in so many different varieties. Today I'm going to be making a simple light pink buttercream cake, but you can also make an ombre cake and go from dark pink to light pink using the exact same technique or any color that you want. You can make a rainbow cake and use multicolors, or you can do what I did with my moon cake and use multiple colors in the same piping bag to actually get a multicolored effect. Use your imagination. There are so many ways to do this and it looks beautiful every time. To do this technique, you actually want to use an icing with a little bit of a stiffer consistency. I like to use American buttercream because it's a little bit stiffer. I've also used Swiss meringue buttercream. All of them work. Just make sure that you put them in the fridge until you're actually ready to serve. You can also use so many different tips for this technique. I'll be using the Asseco 845. You can also use the Wilton 2D or the 1M. There are so many different options. As long as it has a star tip, then you're good to go. I'll also be using a piping bag. You can use a parchment bag or a plastic bag or a cloth bag, whichever you prefer. Then you put your tip right into your bag, and you can cut a hole right at the bottom where your tip ends. Then you fold your icing bag over into your palm. I don't like to put too much icing in my bag because then it gets a little bit hard to handle, so just fill it up about halfway so it's easy for you to handle. Okay, then you just pull your icing bag up, give it a little twist, and then it's already coming out the end. When you're making your rosettes, you want to go straight down, push down a little bit, and then go right around. And once you hit about 3/4, release the pressure a little bit, keep going in the same direction, and let go. And you do it again. Push down right in the middle, don't push too hard, lift up, go around counterclockwise or clockwise, whichever one is easier for you. 3/4 of the way, let go of the pressure, keep going in the same direction, and then let go. You can make rosettes in any size that you want. You can make a double rosette, which is a little bit bigger, or you can make a mini one. I like to think of them in terms of cupcakes, the size that you would make on a little mini cupcake versus a standard size cupcake. If you make bigger ones, then it will take up more space. If you make smaller ones, you'll have to do a lot more. I like to make mini ones because it makes the cake look a little bit prettier. It's up to you how you want to do it. They both look really gorgeous. Make sure that when you're actually doing this on the cake that you have enough icing in your bag to actually complete at least one rose. You don't want to end up running out of icing halfway through a rose. That does not look pretty. I've already filled and stacked my cake and gave it a pretty thick crumb coat in the exact same color as my buttercream rosettes. Just in case there are some gaps in our rosettes, you want to be able to see pink through instead of the actual cake. This cake is actually pretty tall compared to a regular cake and is 5.5 inches. So you just want to be able to measure out how many layers of rosettes you'll actually be able to have. I'm not very good with keeping straight lines, so I like to actually measure it with a ruler before moving forward. You don't have to do this. This is definitely optional. If you're good at keeping straight lines, go for it, but I'm not very good at that. There are some tools that you can use. I know Wilton has one where it has some edges where you can just mark your cake all around the cake, but I don't have one of those, so I'm going to makeshift and actually do it with a ruler and some toothpicks. So what I'm going to do is actually take my ruler and my toothpicks and actually mark out where on the ruler I want the lines to go so we can mark it all around the cake. So I'm just going to measure out 5.5 divided by 3, I guess. So I'm just going to measure them out a little bit less than 2 inches apart. And now you have a bit of a guide to help you while you decorate your cake. So you want to take your ruler and hold it up against the cake and just start to make your lines all the way around the cake. Now we're going to put the icing directly onto the cake. You want to again put pressure on it, lift up, go around, and end off a little bit right over there. I like to go a little bit further so that I can cover it up with the next one so that you don't see where it cuts off. And then again, you squeeze, go up, go around, over, and right to the edge. When it comes to the second round, you want to actually stagger your next rows so that it's in between these two so that it covers up the gap right over here. You may not actually reach the second line, but let's see how this goes. So you go right into the middle, push in, and go all the way around. Okay, now that we're at the top of the cake, we're going to do the exact same thing all the way around, going towards the middle. When we first start, we're going to go in between the roses to stagger them a bit, and then once you go into the middle, it doesn't really matter as much. So you start right here. I'm going a little bit off the edge because mine is not fully covering the top layer. If there are any spots that you feel have a little bit of a gap, you can always fill them in with the exact same tip, making just a little bit of a star right in the middle. And you can fill in the gaps that way. Hi guys, and welcome to this episode of Caked. My name is Asma. Buttercream for this because it's a little bit stiffer. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you like this cake, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more tutorials like this, please let me know in the comments below. I use this technique on my moon cake where I use multicolored buttercream right over here. Check that out. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel right over here. Thanks for watching. Bye.